In order to clean a cage, you will need to remove everything from the cage. This instance, we are going to pass the cat off. If there's another person here, you can take the cat and hand it to the other volunteer to help hold the cat while you clean the cage, or you can put them in one of the smaller foster cages. You'll remove any toys and shake them out if they're covered in litter. If they're really wet or dirty, you will need to throw them in the laundry to have them washed. If they're covered in kitty poop, you're going to just throw them away. When you pull out the litter box, you need to pay attention to what the poop looks like. This looks fairly normal, although it is a little bit on the soft side. And you will need to make a note of that and email to let us know so we can keep an eye out on the poop. On the bottom of the cart, there is a bucket that has scoops in it. You will use 1 scoop per litter box because you don't want to cross-contaminate. You scoop out where the poop is and go through the litter and try to get out all of the poop. There is a lot of sawdust. This is how the litter breaks down. If this happens, you are going to try and get out as much of the sawdust that you can. Unless the litter box is completely filthy, we do not dump it. However, if it's kittens, it's usually dumped on a daily basis. The dirty scoop is going to go into the empty bucket, and you're going to put in approximately a scoop and a half to 2 scoops of litter into the litter pan. For kittens, we also add a sheet of newspaper to the bottom of the litter box to reduce the amount of waste of litter. You don't want to have the box too full because we end up just wasting it. We generally put everything up high so a community cat cannot use it while we are working. Remove all newspaper from the cage. Any leftover food will go in the garbage as well. You will remove the bedding. This bedding is really not dirty. It just has some litter on it, so you're going to just shake it out. Make sure that it is still usable. Most of the beds are made out of towels, folded, and put into a pillowcase. You'll remove the water and food bowl. If the food bowl is not really dirty, you're not going to dump it. This bowl is fairly clean, so I don't need to dump the food. If the bowls are dirty, please replace them with clean ones and wash the dirty ones. For the higher cages, there is a step ladder. It is located in the supply closet or next to the foster cages. After you empty everything out of the cage, you are going to spray down the entire cage with cleaner. The cleaner is safe for all animals. For the older cats, you can clean with the cat in the cage. The cat usually goes to one side, and then you can wipe down the cage. You want to make sure all the litter is out and you get into all the little cracks between the sides. If there's a lot of litter in the cage, on the cart there's a little brush and dustpan that you can use to scoop everything off. When you are cleaning these cages, it's also important to remember that you need to clean the door because cats tend to climb all over it. So you need to wipe down the inside part of it. You will take newspaper and cover the bottom of the cage. For some of the kittens, more newspaper is a bad thing because the kittens will just tear it up and shred it everywhere. When you're putting stuff back into the cage, you need to make sure that the litter box is as far away from the water as possible. The litter box is actually going to go into the far back corner. The food, which we already said was okay, is going to go up on the top slot. We will refill the water from the watering can and put the water back into its spot on the top shelf. Make sure you do it slowly or the water will spill everywhere. Replace the bed. Beds have a tendency to go underneath the shelf because the cats feel more secure with it there, and you want to keep the access to the door open. Replace the toys. Make sure the toys go back into the cage they came from because they would need to be cleaned if they weren't. Then you can replace the cat. For the foster cages, you can actually pull the entire tray out and dump it. So when it's full of food and litter, the whole thing can come out and you can spray it all down. If there is a cat that's living there, not just a foster, you would need to clean it every day. If it's a foster, you would do it the night after the foster leaves.